What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. A lot of black men are no longer with their child's mothers by divorce or whatever the reason is. And as we know, those things just sometimes don't work out. But what I have noticed for these brothers, and it even happened in our family to a certain degree, but not as bad, is that the man takes blame or the blame for everything, or the blame is put on the man. And so now you have situations where the man leaves. You know, we don't know why they're leaving, but they're leaving and daddy's leaving. And when that happens, mom gets to paint and control the narrative. And again, we're not saying that black men are perfect. We know they're not. But when mom gets to paint the narrative, the kids take her side. And now once the kid takes her side, what ends up happening is there's a lot of disrespect from the child towards the father. And we've seen certain elements of that. In this case, we've seen it with, King and T.I., although they're still together. But usually they are broken up. All right? Usually they're broken up. But Brother Corey Holcomb talked about his own experience. And he mentioned that, and I'd like to play his clip about kids disrespecting their parents. And I'm going to come back.
Hand with a parent, but I'm saying it's like.
But I had great on the other one.
As you get older, you're supposed to learn to get away from people that don't have your best interests. And on top of that, the number one rule, don't disrespect your parents. Don't listen to this Western civilization. Do not disrespect your father. I don't want to hear nothing about what he did. He took my money. Because we didn't heard this. We didn't seen this happen a lot.
Right.
We didn't see it. No, man. If your father has become something that you can't get along with, you are supposed to give him his space so that you don't never step out of bounds and disrespect him. Mm-hmm. Don't disrespect your father, man. I'm telling you.
And the worst thing about some of those situations like that, when you see them, I like to find out, are you still accepting anything from them? See, because if you're accepting something from them and you're still disrespect, man, See what I'm saying? Like, I know so many people who are still helping their grown children out.
Right.
And those children are disrespectful to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're disrespecting the parents, but yet it's like, wait a second. And they'll talk shit about their parents and like, wait a second. You still accepting something from them? Oh, no.
I know somebody, their brother is about 35 years old, right? And he's, what do they call him? See, out in Chicago, we call them jukers and jackers, them dancers that do like this. Anyway, this dude is...
Wait, that's a profession?
Is it crump dancing or whatever? Is that what they call it on the West Coast?
Yeah, crump dance. Jukers and jackers is funny.
That's what we call it in Chicago.
That's a good one, though.
Like, hey, man, the jukers and jackers over there, they be over there. They be getting down. They got some moves. Anyway, this dude, he a crump dancer, a juke and jacket. He's 35. Yeah. And when I saw him do some move like this with these young boys, the reason I laugh is because he's disrespectful to his father. Now, his father gave him the world, which is the worst thing you can do with these kids.
Without discipline,
my son called me all the time and be on that, hey, Dad, cash at me $25 and all that. I be telling him, I be like, man, really, you could get the world from me, but you ain't on shit. So I can't really with you like you want me to with you because you ain't on shit. You kick it for a living. He 22. He kicks it for a living. What you on? What you trying to do out here?
Man.
I can't just give you shit and you ain't on shit.
Yeah.
And all these people who, man, let me tell you something. If your child,
that's true,
because you still call them
that's
your
a
child.
whole different thing, though. That's true, Drew.
If they out of high school, them is supposed to be scared to ask you for anything. Now, if they own something, I'll give them the world.
Right.
If you out here trying to do something for yourself, you got an ally. I'm like, what we got to do?
Now I want to give a shout out to the brother Corey Holcomb for talking about this, and I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of us as men when we were coming up, we had a hostile attitude towards our fathers because we believed everything that our mother told us. And this doesn't take away from anything from our mothers. Of course, we will always love them. We will always care about them. And for me, I'm thankful for my mom, right? And my mom was very fair with my dad, although it didn't work out. But I'd like to submit this if I can. And that is, it wasn't until I got older, until I saw the faults in my mom that, hey, wait a minute, let me go back and talk to my dad and see what he's talking about. All right. And then why did I have an attitude with him? Now, if I'm gonna be rude, which I should never be, because it is your father, you need to honor your parents, right? And sometimes some parents are not living the lifestyle in front of their kids to be honored. And we got to also understand that if you want your kid to respect you, you know, it's one thing to say, well, okay, well, my child respects me because I'm his parent, but you also got to be a parent worth respecting. All right. And I'm gonna be honest, as parents, they fall short. But let me just say this, the man that brought you into the world, you know, have some respect for your father. You ain't gonna always get along, but that is your father. I see a lot of brothers that have so much respect for their mothers, and I'm gonna just call it like it is, man. You know, your mama got different dudes coming in and out the house. Your mom hitting you with a guilt trip. Your mom is not a lady that has always been respectable. Now your mama, your daddy done moved on and got married to somebody else. You hate him for that, but you never thought about the fact that your mama can't ever get married. Your mama always in some mess. Your mama always in some drama. You never thought about that, did you? It never even crossed your mind. Because whenever it's mama, we always got a reason why we can't really address her issues. We're gonna be honest. It's always addressing your daddy issues. Yes, and we know your daddy got issues. My daddy damn sure had issues. But we also gonna be fair about this thing. Mama ain't perfect. And a lot of times when I hear people having that disrespect towards a father, it usually, now I'm just gonna say this, of course, the father can do something that's wrong, right? But what I have found is a lot of that animosity comes from what your mother have told them, which is false. I have seen black men, and you guys know this, pay child support. I have seen brothers try to find their kids. They mama keep moving and moving because you don't want the child support people to know where he at. Always doing silly stuff like that. I see it. Then turn around and tell the person, your daddy don't love you. The father find out where the kid go to school. You calling the police and just doing anything, you know, to make things terrible, to make things bad for the man. Doing anything that you can, you know, and it's a shame. You know, like us as black men, we ought to want to talk to our fathers to see what is the truth. Because I'm gonna tell you, we know what mama told us, but we know our mothers love us. But that don't mean that she being honest about what your daddy is saying. And if your father moved on, it can't just be, well, he moved on because he didn't want to take responsibility. Sometimes it ain't about that. A lot of time it ain't about that. You find out all the time, your father tried to stay. Your father was a decent man. Not saying he perfect, but we need to, as much as we want somebody to give us opportunity, we need to give our own fathers opportunity. And we really got to be honest about that. You know, we have to give our own father an opportunity. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. Appreciate you for all you do, subscribe to the bell. We're out.